Hey everybody, soft open today. We're going to talk about a topic that's kind of important. We're going to talk about copyright music in your YouTube, not YouTube, in your Kickstarter videos and why that's a problem. So first, it's a problem because, of course, if you're using copyrighted content without permission, you're breaking the law, and you're also taking away from someone who worked really hard. You're kickstarting something and telling people to support you while using someone else's stuff. That's just not cool. However, that's a mistake some people make. They don't understand it. So I get that. It's forgivable. There's also the complication of something like me. I do everything I do with the advocating, with these programs, backup calls. No one's paying me to do this. I do it because two reasons, and they're both selfish. One, I like helping people. It makes me feel better about myself. If I can help creators who need a little extra push, a little extra shine, it makes me feel better in life, and that matters to me, and it just puts me in a better mood. And with my back condition, that actually helps me. And the second reason is I do Kickstarters, so now I get to be on this show, and I've built something that's a show. I've never monetized anything. I don't plan to. I don't charge anyone to be on these programs. I do this all because I believe that there was a forest, and I thought there needed to be a road, so I cut down the trees and made a road. And we've had that road for a few years. For those of you who've watched me for a while now, you know that we had a really bad experience about 2 years ago. Our YouTube channel had gotten up to over 1,000 subscribers. I actually just checked it today. So I was going through the history of YouTube, and I was cleaning some things out and just putting playlists. We had over 1,400 subscribers. What wound up happening was at a point, we used to do this show very different without StreamYard, and I would play the videos live, not realizing what we're about to watch. It was supposed to be a surprise for me too. This is before it was backer pause, and this was just when it was Kickstarter talk. So I didn't know what was going to happen, and what wound up happening is we got 3 copyright strikes, and they not only suspended our account for 6 months, some of you might have remembered we had to go to a different place. And this is what before StreamYard, so we could only stream 2 places at once. So we could no longer stream to our YouTube channel. Nothing about the channel worked anymore. They even ripped away some of the content that we had, and they ripped away all the views of every video. And on top of it, as a punishment, they got rid of every subscriber. For 2 years, I have not really promoted my channel for that reason. And I'm not mad at YouTube. I understand what they did. But I got punished for that. So on this show, I've dedicated myself to making sure that we don't break copyright. And sometimes it gets a little iffy. Sometimes there are free-to-use songs that you can use, but you have to subscribe to a subscription. That subscription doesn't save me from playing it on my show or anyone else's show you might go on. That's a little complicated. It's not fair. You're not trying to play Guns N' Roses. You try to do the right thing. We work together and we find a way through it. And sometimes it's just about showing me the certificate. That way, if YouTube comes to me or Facebook, I can say, hey, I've got the certificate. Here's the certificate. There's usually a code on the certificate, a license or whatever have you, a number, or I can forward the image with permission from the creator. And that usually stops the problems. I can say that we've gone 1 full year without a copyright strike. This is amazing. We are at a point where I feel like I can rebuild the channel now. That's why this is so important, especially if you're a creator who wants to go on other people's shows. You don't want to be the person that gets them a copyright strike. I Shazam every video. And trust me, when I find a copyright strike, or a copyright issue, I'm not happy, and I bring it to the creator's attention if they didn't tell me beforehand and I didn't know it was coming, because sometimes people don't tell me. And I let them know, hey, this isn't cool. You have to work with me. Help me out here. I'm not trying to do this to be difficult for anyone. And I didn't have anyone in the room with me today. Right now, we have 3 amazing judges that are going to be coming on in just a second. I wanted to say this, and I'm going to play the credits because I think it's really important you guys understand. This is part of your crowdfunding. Do the right thing. If you're hiring someone to do a video, I don't want to hear they did it. It's still your job to make sure that you're doing the right thing, because your crowdfunding campaign represents you. It does not represent anyone else. Do it the right way. Build your audience the right way. Don't take shortcuts, because shortcuts hurt me and people like me. What will happen is we won't want you back on our show ever again. And then you lose someone trying to advocate for you. I hope that explains it. If anyone else has any other questions, please reach out to me. As a quick thing, I'm now on TikTok too. You can find me, Mr. Anderson. I can answer questions in a minute. So if you have a question for me, feel free to send it there, even about crowdfunding or about this if they're specific. I'll be happy to do a video just for you. But with that said, hopefully we can just move on quickly to the backer pause, because that's what we're all here for. So let's play the game. Welcome to Backer Pause. What is Backer Pause? Our judges watch crowdfunding videos on air. When they lose interest in a video, for any reason, they hit pause and explain what caused them to experience Backer Pause. This is a fun way to teach creators about attention spans and what works and does not work for their videos. Videos featured from projects that are being advocated for on comicbookadvocates.com with permission. Want to be judged? Have a crowdfunding campaign you want to have on the show? Well, send us an email at comicsnewswire@yahoo.com, and that's comics, COMIX. So who wants to play? And before we get into it, I'm going to let everyone introduce themselves, and then we'll play our warning. Go ahead, Thomas. You're first in. You get to tell everyone who you are and what campaign you're here to promote.
Dope. What's up, everybody? My name is Thomas Ryan, and my title that I have on Kickstarter right now, it goes by the name of Technium. It's a sci-fi space adventure that follows a bunch of cybernetic augmented guys who are pretty much trying to defend the galaxy from an ancient evil that has returned that once had the universe enslaved. It's about 32 pages. Actually, where is that? It's about 32 pages that I got here. You know, a lot of work, a lot of talent went into getting this thing created and everything like that. And really proud of it. And it's live on Kickstarter right now.
And we'll be watching that video in just a few minutes. Mark, go ahead and introduce yourself to the fans watching.
Hey, I'm Mark Darden. I'm the creator of the Guano Guy. It's a comic book about less than nothing, because nothing would be something. No, it's less than nothing. We have no purpose or point to this comic at all, except that it's fun and funny. There's lots of zany, wacky adventures and a growing cast of ridiculous jerks who really aren't there to help you, even though they pretend to be superheroes.
And Frank, our third judge for the evening.
Hey guys, Frank Forte here. Work as a storyboard artist for TV and film. Worked on Bob's Burgers, Solar Opposites, a bunch of other shows and movies. But in my spare time, I draw comics. Warlash is one of my creations, and that's on Kickstarter now. Warlash Cold Metal Mayhem. And if you like Judge Dredd, RoboCop, and The Scorpion, it's just a hard-hitting sci-fi, action-packed, drama adventure thing. So that's on Kickstarter now, and will soon be on Indiegogo as well.
All right, before we get into it, I always like to play the warning. When we get back, we're going to look at Thomas's video, which is brand new for those of you who have been watching for a few weeks. We actually have a new version for us to see. But first, the warning, just so everyone knows that it's not my fault what they say. Warning and disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed on this live feed are those of the guests, speakers, and or hosts, and do not necessarily reflect the beliefs, official policies, ethics, or positions of the content providers, advertisers, additional hosts, and or guests, hosting sites, groups, or entities attached to this programming. Viewer discretion is advised. All right, Thomas, we're going to play your video first. Because you're a judge, there is no pause. So here we go. Check out what Thomas has been creating.
Technium is essentially about humanity. It just kind of follows a group of people who gave up like the most human parts of themselves to protect the same humanity that they love.
We found our calling over 100 years ago. We found our worlds enthralled in the midst of a great war. Since the war's end, we've known nothing but productivity, peace, and plentifulness. But even in the midst of these great times, I know that one thing stands true. something that has always stood true, that all things come to an end.
The world of Teklium is set in a futuristic galaxy far, far away, and we arrive at a time of peace, where now all of the worlds in this universe live in a state of prosperity. But things weren't always this way. This galaxy is on the tail end of a war that lasted for centuries between all of the species that lived in this galaxy under the tyrannical rule of an elite group called the Drudge. In this chapter, one of the Drudge elite has escaped, with plans to rekindle the Drudge conquest and destroy anyone that stands in his way. With the fate of the galaxy on the line, the cosmos turns to the most elite group of warriors known as the Adapted. But do they have what it takes to stand up against such a formidable foe? Find out in the Teklium comic book series, running now through July 3rd, 2021, only on Kickstarter.
All right, gentlemen, what'd you all think?
Yeah, I liked it, man. I thought it was good. You know, I like to hear. I just started adding like sound effects in my thing, so like you could try adding, you know, some sound effects in that part where after you did your voiceover and you're showing all that stuff that's happening, like add some sword play or some explosions or some space or just something and kind of liven it up. But I mean, I thought it was cool. It wasn't like bored or anything. You know, I don't know. I think it looked cool. I mean, I think, you know, maybe you could add social stuff there at the end. You know, I think a little sound effects kind of like liven it up. But I thought it was interesting. Like the story catches you. I think the voiceover was cool because, you know, it makes you feel like you're listening to someone who's going through it. You know, so it was a little more personable. The question, yeah, I guess you could say, some of the visuals were the same in the part after that, and then you did the voiceover later. You could combine those, I guess, and have what you said later in there. I don't know. There's a lot of ways you could do it, but I think it was cool. I think it worked.
What do you think, Mark?
Yeah, logo's real sharp, like that. And that's the first thing I got to see. And it sounds very dramatic, and your voice worked really well for that.
Yeah, totally.
A lot.
The one thing I did notice, though, it felt like we were watching 3 videos that were put together. Like you kind of started one video and it stopped, and there was this new video, and then that stopped, and then there was a new video. It almost felt like 3 ads back to back. Not one of them was a bad ad. All 3 of them were solid, but it just felt like it went on just a little too long for an actual Kickstarter video. I think it should be a little quicker. Think about someone stepped up to your table. That should be your Kickstarter video. Boom, 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 done. I think the other 2 parts should go in the body of your Kickstarter. One of the things I did with Cat Dad that was actually somewhat successful is I had a video for every section, and it was a pain to do, but it worked really well because they got to see me and take the journey with them.
Mm-hmm.
It was almost like virtually going through it with me. I
Right.
think you did a great job actually with the videos. I love your passion, the cadence of your voice. You sound confident and excited about what you're creating. And that's right there will make me back a project, because there's someone who believes in what they're creating. So long as it's not a stick figure on the page, I don't care. I'll back it. Just give it a try, because I love passionate creators.
I appreciate it, man, because y'all pointed out a bunch of stuff that I didn't notice. And it's crazy because I spent so much time on the video, and then somebody would say, well, you could have added sound effects. I'm like, yeah, what about the sound effects? You know what I mean? Or like, you know, like you seen it as 3 videos, and I didn't see it 3 videos at all. So
Yeah, right.
it's crazy. That's why it's good to get feedback, man. So thank you. I appreciate it.
But you could also you could always do more. So at some point, they're like, okay, this is good. I'll do more next time.
I've already changed my video a couple times on my Kickstarter, so don't feel like you have to always keep the same video for the 4 weeks. Change it up. Like, you could change it up every week just so there's something new there. See what people say, and just so that it's shorter, more condensed. You edited it. It works faster now. Like, don't feel like you have to leave it up there. I change my image a lot too. My main Kickstarter image, I change that up every week. And on the last week, I changed it up 7 times for the last 7 days. You know?
Yep, I completely agree with Frank. I'm always changing what I'm doing on.
Yep.
Your campaign can't get old. Think about it. What would you do if you saw the same Coca-Cola commercial every day for 5 weeks or 4 weeks or 3 weeks? You'd
stab your eye out.
Yeah, remember, because we're going to share it in groups, and you'd be surprised. You might have one, like to Frank's point, you have this one image, the guy's like, it looks cool, I'll check it out later. You do the second time, you do a different image. Oh, look at that. That's cool. The third image. Oh, I need to check this out. There's always that one image that will drag that one person.
Right. You've got a full comic book of art. Any one of those panels could be your image. You could change it up multiple times, you know?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely true. All right. It's Mark's turn. Let's see. This time you guys are going to be on camera. The faces will be there. So we shock and horror. All you gotta do is like kind of lean this way, Frank, and then Thomas, you just gotta lean this way, and we could all be like, "Oh, here's Guano Guy, Part 4."
Hi, I'm Mark Darn, and I traveled the galaxy to bring you the funnest Guano Guy comic yet. I gathered together adventure, cuteness, sorry buddy, and aliens. Let's get some of that in there. To cook up the wildest Guano Guy adventure yet. Did all of this in my space boat. Oh, it's ready. It's the biggest Guano Guy comic ever. A monster of a book so big you need to step back to read it. Not actual size of comic. The Guano Guy comic is filled with big adventures, big accusations, and the big sleep. The big sleep! Oh, it's the most fun comic your friend has never heard of. So help them and me by joining the Guano Guy campaign today. Guano Guy for Galactic Emperor.
I have to ask before anyone else comments, then Thomas, you're up first. What was the microwave? Like, what was the thing that actually, was it just a box? Was it like a real micro? Okay. I didn't know if it was a real microwave with things taped on it. Like, what the hell is that? I loved it. I love the craziness and the zaniness of it, and it kind of matches the material, I think, perfectly to me. Thomas, you're up.
Yeah, I can second the loving the zaniness part of it. That really kept me interested in it. It's funny. It made me laugh. It's hilarious to me. Even when you were describing it earlier, saying it's not nothing, it's less than nothing. It's just so funny because who says that? But overall, I thought it was a good video. It was a video that was way shorter than mine, and it definitely was. It kept me grasped, like the whole thing, and I got the point by the end. So I thought it was a good job.
What do you think, Frank?
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the campaign now. I mean, the art looks really good, very cool. I mean, you know, I'm a guy that I like to see some of the art in the video, you know. I thought it was cool. I thought it was funny, but you could put some of this art that you have here is really great. At least some of it should be in there, you know, or start out with some art, then cut to you do your thing, show some more art, you know, I don't know. Or, I mean, what was your reason for not putting any art in the, of the comic in the video, I guess?
Yeah, there's a different video on the campaign where I go through talking about the stories and the artists, and I've got art. Totally agree. If you want to have that on display, but for the opening video, I just like a real short, impactful video.
Right. Oh, I see. Here it is now. Here's all your other videos.
Yeah, there's another video with that stuff, and then I've got videos that are from previous readings I've done, so you also get like sound effects and little fun stuff of me like telling you some of the stories that are in the previous issues, doing live readings, in character voice.
Yeah, no, these look cool too. Yeah, I get it. I didn't know these were in here. Yeah, I mean, I think it was cool. I think the art looks great, man. It's really cool stuff.
Yeah,
art by Alexander Enland. That's your artist.
Yeah, he and I have been doing 4 issues together now. So this is our fourth one. David Lapham did the cover there.
Oh, right.
And the colorist Keenan. I've been working with him the last couple issues. He's been a side colorist, but he did some pages in this one, and he did the coloring for the cover, which he did a real nice job of. Right. I really like how, because you got the figures around the circle that are outside the window about to go in, and then the muted colors inside. It really sets it off. Right.
Yeah, cool, man. It looks good.
And we've got that. Like there's that full dressed up version of the cover with all the like 70s style silliness. And then there's just a stripped down version that's just the art too.
No, the design looks cool. The lettering, the whole design of the campaign, I think I like. It's just designed really well too.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
Improve on every one and just keep building a better mousetrap.
Yeah. So you've done 5 so far?
This is the 4th one. I relaunched the first one. Mm-hmm. So that's why there's 5, but this is the 4th one.
Right. Very cool.
All right. You guys can see the video. I'm unmuted. You can see the video right here, and you can see some of the art that they were talking about right there.
Yeah, it looks great.
There you go. And definitely check that video out. Mark explains. I'm sure you're explaining some of the scenes in this video as well.
Yeah, talking about the people and the stories.
All right, guys. So you guys can definitely check that out. We're going to move on to, I believe, the newest ones on your profile right now, right, Frank?
Yeah, I just re-uploaded the video with the new. I took out that song in the end, so whatever you play should be golden.
All right, this is it. I re-uploaded, so let's check out. I want to get the name right. Hold on. Warlash Cold Metal, right?
Warlash Cold Metal, Mayhem, and Bioburden. Those are the 2 first issue one-shots that are on there.
And I think there it is. All right, so here we go. Let's check it out. And away we go. And banging my head as we're doing it. The one thing I think that you should have done was a voiceover. You know how much.
Yeah, no, I know. Some people like those. I just I don't know if my voice is the best thing to do it, but I am the creator, so maybe it could work. Yeah, I don't know. I've seen like some really cool trailers that don't have voiceovers. I don't know. What do you think? Me talking about the campaign or Warlash's voice as a voiceover?
Well, I think that's comfort. Like one thing Mark does really well is he can get into the characters of the particular people that he has on there. Maybe just as simple as like, you know, Frank presents Warlash, Cold Metal Mayhem, and Bioburden. Then you let some of the music play, you let it all go in. And then you go, you know, like even for the picture right there, that had to hurt. Like almost, I would think more of like a Duke Nukem thing for this.
Yeah, right. Get somebody that could do that kind of a voice and get him to add some stuff in there, right.
You know, like this book's fully funded, but I still need money for booze. You know, like right. I think that could really kind of get people to talk about it. Because if you can make a video, that was one thing with Cat Dead and Supermom. I had made this video where people were literally telling other people to watch a video. And it was funny because my friends were like, yeah, someone told me I really had to watch it because, like, apparently you have a heart and a soul. And I was like, wow, that's painful. But it's true. When you can put yourself on display in a way that people aren't used to, they definitely do it. And as far as not feeling comfortable, any voiceover is generally good.
Yeah, right.
I do hear what you say about the music, though, because the music went well with it. I do think the transitions were a little fast for my taste, but that's my eyes.
Right. I feel like when I see some videos that drag, I don't want it to drag, so I think my natural instinct is to, like, cut it fast like a trailer, but maybe it got too fast. I don't know, but...
No, you're talking to someone who listens to audiobooks at 3.5. So, what did you think, Thomas?
I'm really digging the artwork. I agree. I think it just needed maybe some voiceovers to it because I'm just speaking from my own personal, like, me listening to videos and me watching videos. Like, I could get bored kind of fast. So if it's like pictures, the art kept me because the art was good. So if the art wasn't good, then I probably would have got off of it. But the art kept me. But just like kind of just looking at frames go by, it's just kind of like, okay, you know, some of the way through it just kind of.
Yeah, my last video for Vampire Versus had the girl doing the voiceover, and I think everybody really liked it. But I was a little pressed for time here. But yeah, something to think about, definitely.
Yeah, and like you said, the art is fantastic. What did you think about it, Mark?
Yeah, I like the length of the video. I dug that it kept moving and like flash and the sound effects went with it. And so it's all very animated. And just the thing you've already heard, just a little bit of info about either the comic or some
what it is, who the creator is and whatnot.
Yeah, or just funny, just, you know, some fun lines in there.
Yeah, right.
Totally like what Rob said.
Yeah, right.
And the covers are fantastic.
Yeah.
One of the other things that I like that you did in the video was that you kind of went through the tiers a little bit. So it's kind of like you're giving everybody everything right there in the video. So I know what I'm getting. Like, I know how much it costs. I know what I'm looking at. So I thought that was really cool. It was a good
just really fast. Just like, hey, here's some of the things. I didn't want to dwell on it too long. But you know, let them. I figure they could just, if they really want to, if they're interested, they'll scroll down and check out all the rewards. You know.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, guys, it's time to play Backer Pause. So, you guys should know the game. I think each one of you have either watched or I think you've all been on the show.
Yeah, I've been on the show. Yeah, I did it.
I've interacted and watched it. So, you know, the one thing you don't know is that, just in case as a reminder, I can't see you, or the audience can't see you in the main screen when we're watching the video, but I can see you at the bottom. There are little windows. So just raise your hand. Try to put it as close to your face as you can, because sometimes people do this or do that. I'm not sure what they're doing. I don't know if they're like.
So what is it when one person pauses it, or when two, or how many?
Three, because there's three of you. We're going to go with the two-person rule.
Right.
It has to be two of you to get it to stop. But the first person who pauses when we come out of it will get the first say in it and tell us why they experienced backer pause. First up, ending this week on actually ending tomorrow, it's Laurent Vallis's Sacrifice. He's been on the show for the past couple weeks. We've gotten to know him really well. I'm curious what you guys think about this project. I think that we're in for a treat watching this, and I'm trying to pull it up. Here's our Sacrifice cover art, and here's the video. Remember, raise your hand as soon as you experience backer pause.
Hello, my name is Laurent. I'm excited to be on Kickstarter for the first time, showing off my original comic, Sacrifice. Set in the modern age, Sacrifice follows a man named Damien Blackwell. When he was an infant, the satanic cult performed a ritual to tie his soul to Lucifer. Their goal was to sacrifice him and summon Lucifer, which would bring about an age of demons. As you saw in the intro, this ritual was interrupted by angels, but not before the soul bonding could be completed. Now, whenever Damien dies, Lucifer will be summoned, and the world as we know it will come to an end. The actual story of Sacrifice takes place 24 years after this ritual, and the common man has no idea that angels and demons are living among him. During this time frame, the demons and other dark forces have been working towards killing Damien. The angels, on the other hand, have been watching over Damien from a distance, but their primary goal has been finding a weapon strong enough to kill Lucifer. This leaves Damien in the middle, who, at this point in the story, is a 24-year-old man and is awakened to unbelievable amounts of demonic power. What type of person does he grow to become? I won't spoil that for you, but I can promise you it's not what you'd expect. This 32-page first issue will be the first in an action-packed series featuring plenty of horror, comedy, fantasy, and pop culture elements. If you like stories like Shaun of the Dead, Army of Darkness, or Ghostbusters, which are filled with various types of demons, monsters, ghosts, and horrific creatures, but still have plenty of room for comedy in between, then you'll love Sacrifice. If Sacrifice sounds like something that would be interesting to you, I ask that you share with the people around you who think who might also be interested. Thank you very much for your time, and I hope I have your support.
All right, Frank tapped
Yeah, man.
out. That was it. Go ahead.
Oh, I wasn't even really wanting to stop it. I just figured it was over. I didn't know if you guys did. I was actually not bored at all. I think it was really cool, and I actually got some ideas on how to do my next video. When I always thought it's boring to watch somebody talk on the screen, you know. But here he is. He was doing it, and he was showing the images, and I'm like, that's the answer. I'm like, that's a cool way to do it. Except he stopped for a little while. There wasn't images, and I would have been like, dude, why'd you stop? You keep those images coming up. Like, keep that going. And the other thing was his background was like a little boring, just being white. I would have lit it, or it could be in studio. Like, do a 3-point lighting system, and then move him over to the right, and then that one whole side of the screen could be comic books the whole time, and it just works, man. I mean, I think it was cool to like see how he was doing that. It's a cool way to do it. It's like it's almost there. It just needs to push it like to another level. I thought the art was great. I thought the story was great. I mean, it was cool. Just put yourself in a room and light yourself. You know, it was a little too sterile, the room he was in, but it was cool. You know.
What do you think, Mark?
Yeah, I'd agree. The video wasn't too long, wasn't too short. It's a good amount of information. I felt like he got better as it went on, actually. I was less interested in the beginning, but the art started getting better and he started getting more into what was going on. So, yeah, I felt like it picked up, which is good.
Thomas?
I thought the video was well produced. I thought he was well spoken. And he was clear. He gave out all the information. I do agree that the background was kind of like stale, like I think they had said earlier. And with the amount of stuff that he was saying in that time, you know, my eyes actually started to wander to the background and see what was around. It was just kind of like a table and stuff, like not a deal breaker. It wouldn't make me not check it out, but it was just, you know, it was one of those things. But overall, I thought it was really cool.
And remember, guys, watching, you all have just until tomorrow at lunchtime to back this. So check it out right now and get into it. We're going to move on to our next one for the evening, which is, I believe, will be Ruben Romero's actual book. And Ruben Romero was actually on the show last week. We got to see Illusion Witch. And we're going to check out that video. Same rules apply, guys. Just raise your hand when you experience back or pause.
What's up, everybody? My name is Ruben Romero, creator and writer of the...
All right, it looks like we can, I forgot, you can kind of see, so you guys can just reach your hand on this one.
Okay.
And here we go.
What's up, everybody? My name is Ruben Romero, creator and writer of The Illusion Witch. And I'm just here to thank you for stopping by and checking out the campaign. There's a lot of things that I could go into detail about the books, but I think the campaign speaks for itself. So please do me a favor, scroll down, check out the small preview of issue 1. I also have a YouTube review of issue 1. Of course, this is for books 1 and 2. So this is a great place where if you missed the first Kickstarter, you can jump on and get both issues, as well as some great rewards, hoodies, t-shirts, custom-made wooden coasters, some great art done by Alex Monick. And
I see him more up. There we go.
Covers created by.
All right, guys, go ahead and go around the room and discuss. I'll be right back. Jax needs me for a second. I can hear you.
Yeah.
You go first, Tom?
Oh, sure, Tom.
No,
go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I wanted to pause just because I like energy. It's one of the things like I need, even if like if you're doing some sort of dramatic energy, whether that was like hopeful or sad or whatever. This was too middle of the road, and there wasn't. I'm sure this guy loves his book. I don't really doubt that, but it wasn't coming out of him. There wasn't enough really information there. It was like a video about the video almost. And I think it would have really served from doing some additional takes. I do a lot of my videos live, but the first one I do, it's rough. And I'll do that first one just to kind of get an idea and then go through and do it again until I feel like I get a good one. And I just feel like he needed a few more takes to polish it up a bit. And
like he started out with really good energy. It dropped off a little bit. That's why you need to do the takes so you can keep the energy going. And then even, do like a take where it's wide, do a take where it's close, do a take where it's like from another angle, and then take all those different shots, and then cut those together. And so you're not just looking at that one shot, it's just basic, like look at a video or take some, just see how you shoot something or work with a cameraman and just get it so that it cuts. Videos cut, and TikTok players are always moving, and they're, it could be. And the other thing, I like to shoot it in your studio or have a cooler background. I didn't know if the two doors thing was that exciting. He was in a hallway. Like, do it in your studio or in your office, or have a cooler background of all your comic books or books or something that shows, what you're into. I wasn't really into the background, or look at Polito. He's got fire and shit, and there's all this crazy stuff, and he's so into it, and he's right in your face, and there's explosions and there's music. I mean, he's great. So yeah, I mean, just a little more higher production value, but I'm interested in definitely seeing the book.
Yeah, I think that I don't know. When I make a video for Kickstarter or anything like that, my main goal is to let somebody know that they're going to be entertained and bring some sort of entertainment that relates to the book to the person. And I'm not a big fan of just like the talking videos. That's just my personal thing.
Right.
I can listen to it for maybe like a minute or two. So but after a while, it's just like, all right, well, I want to see more of the book. I want to see the thing. Let me get to the thing, and the thing wasn't there. So it's like, all right. I probably would have got off of it if it was just like a random video.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm the same way. That's why I don't usually make talking videos, because I don't really like to watch them. I think in the video, it would have been cool. He could have talked over it, but edit some of the clips of the comic in there over his voiceover. It's cool to start out like, oh, that's the creator. That's cool. Great. I like that. But edit in some of the artwork, some of the covers over the talking.
All solid points, gentlemen.
Yeah, I agree.
Speaking of a gentleman you might know, Brian Polito is actually back on Kickstarter, and this time he's the Lady Death Majestic Statue Series by Coffin Collectibles. Is of course part of the Hall of Fame, so we're going to spend the entire year, showing some appreciation and love for the things he does, because it's an actual Coffin collectible. It's not really a comic. We won't be playing the video on backer pause today. Plus, I didn't want anyone to pause him and then have to have him come yell at me while someone pauses the video. So I'm avoiding that this evening, and we're just going to move on to our next project, which is brought to us by Keith, and this is Maximum stuff right here. And give me 1 second while we call this one up for you guys to watch. And this is pretty cool. I'm trying to see. I don't think we have the overlay for some reason. I had this problem. Oh, no, there it is. I was going to say I had it last week. I thought I fixed it, but there it is. This is going to be our next video. And remember, this time I won't see you, or we won't see you publicly. So just raise your hands in the background. And we'll bring you out when we hit that. So here goes the video. What do you guys think?
Cool. I thought it was cool. There was that second clip, that one page that kind of moved around a little funny. I don't know. It was kind of like giving me a little seasickness. That was the only little thing. But again, I like to have sound effects in there. I think you're looking at a static image. You need something else to just liven it up. That's why I like the sound effects in there. There could be magic. There could be lasers, explosions. Swords hitting, there's all sorts of sound effects you can do to make that more interesting.
My next video is going to have pew, 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 pew.
but like you guys said, right, I see it now where a little bit of a voiceover would have been cool. I know there was a Steve Rude. I don't know if you guys saw that. It was a few years ago where Steve Rude, they did a video for him. I think it was an art book. And they had the camera like him in his studio. He was talking to the camera. Then he went to the studio and it was panning on him drawing, and it was all dark and it was like lit. And it just looked so cool. I mean, it was like a professional looking video. And I just think when you're filming yourself or someone filming you, just take the time to do a 3-point lighting setup, light it, and shoot it so that it looks, I don't know, like more professional. But then again, like Thomas was saying, I don't want to see somebody talking the whole time. I don't think I like to see some of the art. But again, 30 seconds is probably all you need, really.
But remember, Frank, you're asking for money, so doing it in a cardboard box probably be the way to go. Like have Post-it notes. Help! I need some money. I gotta make this comic. You get too fancy, and people are like, "What am I paying for? You to do videos?" And I've heard that on this show.
Really?
People do think that when the videos are too fancy,
if it looks too slick, you don't need the money?
Yeah, why? Why are you crowdfunding? Like, you got pockets like that to get,
right.
over here to film your video. Like,
right. That's an interesting thought. Yeah,
it's
right.
a slippery slope. Too much.
Yeah.
When you're Spielberg.
Too much glam.
Yeah, when you're Spielberg in it, we have a term, jazz hands. Too much jazz hands make people like, you rolling? Like, I mean, you got all them sci-fi things coming in. What do you need me for?
That's a good point. But then Polito does those crowdfunding. He does 3 or 4 a year, and they all raise over $250,000. I would say he probably doesn't need to do 4 of them, but he still does, and people still come out.
But the price points for Polito are different. I do think that there's a market there. I think when you're pre-campaign, like some of us come to this to pre-order. They use the Kickstarter platform completely to pre-order. In other words, you're paying table prices. You're paying what you would pay at a price. Most people who crowdfund ask a little bit more. It helps take the sting out. Like, for example, most of the time I'll offer a book for $10 and shipping is $5, so you get one book for $15. But when you're at a table, you'd only pay probably $10 for the book for me, but my books are like 42 pages, 32 pages, you know. So I think it matters also how you're doing it when you build up with your fan base, because his videos are fantastic. As a matter of fact, we still have his video loaded.
Yeah, no.
I'll give you a quick look at this. Is what Brian does.
Hello everybody, this is Brian Polito, creator of Lady Death, and we are back to unleash the most epic chapter in Lady Death's undead life.
Now, I want to get there. That's a life goal right there. I want to have those videos.
Totally.
But his price points are completely different than a lot of other creators. So I think he gets away with it because he's at that point. I know I'm not, and you know, that's okay. Right. I'm getting there. Right. You know, I think that's what it is. The higher you get, although I will say this, and I agree with you at this, Frank, the higher you're leveling up, the more you got to level up as you go. You can't be doing that video that's like at the coffee shop after you've done 15 campaigns and raised $300,000.
Yeah, right.
We're going to be like, all right, you got to try harder to get my nickels now. You know, I'm not just backing you for anything. But then again, perfect. This is a perfect segue moment. We'll be right back to this campaign, but here's a great campaign that we're covering right now that did not even bother with a video. So this is a creator I have worked with, C.V. Zane. He does Into the Suck, which was part of Keith Thomas. We lost, unfortunately, due to stomach cancer. Did fantastic. This man never does a video. Raises tens of thousands of dollars. Right. So sometimes the answer is not a video, apparently, when your art is that beautiful. C.V. Zane, a talented artist. Absolutely love him. Nothing but respect for him. So sometimes you do get to do that. But I want to hear from the other two judges in the room. What'd you guys think of this video?
It's been a little bit, but I feel like the music was good. Kept the energy up, which I liked. It was wordless, so it didn't really tell me a lot. But again, the music worked for this one and just the still frame images. So it was different than I would do, but it worked.
Yeah, this is another one where the art really kept me. I would have liked a little bit of voiceover, but I did like the fact that he did throw something in there to read, and that was related to what the story is about, so I could get some type of idea. The way that the video was wouldn't stop me from going to the campaign and looking to see more, because I really like the way the art looked, so I would check it out more. But yeah, maybe some type of voiceover. See, voiceover is like a science. It's like a finesse, man. Because if you do too much, then it's like, it's too much, and if you do too little, it's like I want to hear more. So it's like you gotta find that.
Yeah, right.
Like talking and images and stuff like that. But I think he needed a little bit more in this case. But overall, I would have still checked it out. So I thought it was good.
I have a question going back to Polito real quick. I know that Polito, he runs a Kickstarter and delivers really quick, right? Because you can't even put up a waiting page on a Kickstarter until your last Kickstarter is fully delivered. I guess, how does he deliver so quickly? Does he have two different Kickstarter profiles? Like, how does he do them one after the other like that? I guess I'm trying to figure that out.
From speaking to him, and this is actually from speaking to him and hearing him talk about crowdfunding, a few things that he does differently. Now, I'm not sure about that waiting page because I have seen people abuse the system, and there are multiple profile people. That is not Brian Polito. I want to say that straight out the gate. He has one profile. What he does is he goes out of pocket, prints the book out of pocket, spends his own money, delivers the book. By the time Kickstarter is paying him, all the backers who have filled out their survey have their books, because he went entirely out of pocket and he gets reimbursed. So by the time you're even getting the Kickstarter money, he's already fulfilled. He spends 2 or 3 weeks off of the campaign, because he has about a 6-week window at least between his campaigns. I think he's up to 5 or 6 a year now. Yeah, that's the system I'm looking for. He also doesn't do very long Kickstarters, if you guys are paying attention.
Yeah, right. This last one was shorter, right? The collectible statues.
3 weeks. I actually like the 3 week. I'm going to start doing 3 weeks as well. It helps you kickstart more. There, let's be honest. Anyone who's ran a Kickstarter knows the middle of your Kickstarter sucks. No matter what you're doing in it, you're getting 1 or 2 backers a day. There's no momentum, because some people are like, well, let me do it when I'm closer. Some people don't understand the money doesn't come out right away. You get the beginning, you get the end. The middle is a waste of time. And some people will be like, oh, well, you know, I'm going to see people in the middle of it. I've done a lot of research, and I don't know if everyone knows this. So I'm gonna let you all in a little bit of a secret. There's a program called, and I'm gonna share it with everyone. This is a secret that it's a public thing, so it shouldn't really be that much of a secret. But this is a way to track Kickstarters. So if you want to see how a fellow Kickstarter has done and kind of measure up, so let's do Lady Death. So we'll type in Lady Death here. And I'm going to show you. This is something called KickTrack. So here we go. We're talking about the collectible thing. We can bring up metadata, and we can see how he's done on a daily basis. So now look, he started his campaign, made $140,000 with 255 backers day one. But you can see, even Brian Pulido struggles in the center.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and here it is. You know, that's it. And this one, yeah, he only has 15 days left. This might have been, it says 37. Oh, average per day, 37. So he's averaging 37 backers. Now, for me, I'd faint if I hit that number, 37 a day. Like, that's amazing. Right. So even getting 9, 10 backers a day is an amazing number to it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can see right there. I mean, you want to talk about a bad day. $4,000 on a day. He wound up not getting any backers, and someone backed out for $4,000.
Right.
That sucks. Imagine that day. And I didn't see him go to social media cry about it. I didn't hear him cry. Like, act professional, guys. I've seen too many indie creators go to social media. Oh, I lost the backer. Oh, I lost this guy.
Right.
No one wants to hear that. No one cares about it. It makes you sound small.
Right.
Especially if you're still funded, especially if you're still moving forward. Remember, guys, people can see what you're doing with these programs now.
Yeah, right.
Running campaigns, be mindful of this, that there are programs like this. So I always look at Brian Pulido, and if Brian Pulido has bad days in the center, I know I'm going to have bad days in the center. So the less center I live in, the better I'm going to be. So my next campaign, which I guess now is the perfect time for a pop. My next one goes off on the 28th, and it's called Heroics. It's launching on Kickstarters.
Nice.
And it's going to be all about heroic characters that'll launch it in print in itself. So when we do that, it's going to be 3 weeks. And then we're planning to go out of pocket, like the Brian Pulido method. Go out of pocket unless we like hit a vein of gold where it's 100,000 backers or we're making millions of dollars. We'll be able to afford going out of pocket. We'll print the books. We'll start shipping the books. Because you can do the surveys the day it finishes. My last campaign for the Continuum, the first issue, I sent out surveys literally within the hour of us closing that campaign. And we were sending out PDFs within 2 days. So there's nothing stopping you from getting it done immediately. That's what
right.
Not everyone can go out of pocket. Look, some people to be able to pay their artists. Some of them still haven't finished the book, which I don't agree with. I think you have to finish your book. By the time the campaign's over, you should be ready to print or just need touch-ups, like editing touch-ups. Some people will take the 2 weeks to make it done. We're committed to this weekend getting the book to the point where we can send it to a printer this weekend and on the 28th. That's where we're at. So I think that mentality will get you through. And in worst case, we have the 3 weeks of the campaign. Does that answer it for you, Frank?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, Pulido, it sounds like, he's got the book and all the merch almost done and in hand, either before he launches or in the middle of when he's running it, it's ready to go, right?
Exactly.
So then when it's over, he can ship it in within 2 weeks, and then what? He takes a little break, and then he runs another one.
If he's ready to go. I think he does take about 6 weeks in between. But when he's on, he's just on, and he conquers. Like you hear everyone talking about it, but he also does like that's for the comics. Now you see he's doing figures, and he's making good money on figures. So I would expect to see. I think the figures will take a little longer. I'm not sure he's going to go out of pocket with the figures because this number is a little different. And anyone who's ever tried to have a figure done, there's a bigger waiting time.
Now, why do you think that like Dynamite, because they run them and they have Red Sonja and Deja Thoris and all those other bad girl characters? Why do you think they're not able to do the numbers that Polito does?
Fan base. Polito has endeared himself to his fan base. He is approachable. He's at shows. He handshakes. When we were having a conversation, even behind the scenes, very professional, very nice guy. He never ever talked down to me like I wasn't at his level. He treats everyone as an equal. I think all those things matter. And being someone who's done over 100 cons, I can tell you there are a lot of creators out there who will look down at you, and as you're leveling up and going above them, they start looking at you different and start treating you different. And that's not how I don't ever want to treat it. Doesn't matter who you are, I treat you the same way. I give everyone the respect they deserve, and I talk to everyone the right way. And I look at people like Brian Polito, Buddy Scalera, from comic book school, which again, a perfect time for another cheap pop for the audience. You guys can, everyone watching today can get a free copy of Comic Book School's Creator Connections Panel 1. It's a free PDF we did during the campaign. That's available now at comicbookschool.com. Buddy Scalera works for Marvel, and he just sits around and talks with us. If you become that approachable and Dynamite, I'll be honest, I'm not talking anything negatively about them, but can anyone tell me who the creators behind those books are?
Yeah, I mean, there's not just one creator. It's a bunch of creators, right? Because Red Sonja was created back in the Conan days. I'm not even sure who the original creator was. And Deja Thoris, I think, because it's John Carter, I think it's public domain or something. I don't know.
But you see what I'm saying? Like, we know right away Ryan Polito's brand. Yeah,
right.
Lady Death, everyone's going to know it's Polito.
Right.
And I think that's your answer. It's about that's why I say your voice matters on these videos. You having FaceTime in it, so they can associate you with your brand. I used to have this feeling being an advocate. Well, I shouldn't be on camera. I should let it be about everyone else. No, because my voice gives comfort. My face actually makes people. Well, if it's on Rob's show, he must be at least looking at their stuff, evaluating. There are Kickstarters I do not allow on this program. I don't think they're ready. I very nicely say your camp. I would not ask anyone to spend money, and it might hurt their feelings. But I've had other people come back to me and go, "Thank you for saying that. It made me get a new artist," and then they have successfully funded a good book. And I won't tell you who it is. I'll go to my deathbed not telling you who it is. But I want to be that guy in this industry. So I think that's a Brian Polito, and I think we all need to level up and be more like that. Our integrity matters. All that matters. And I think that's why Brian Polito's where he is, because he has been that dude for decades now.
Yeah, that's true. Who do you think is, like, if you go down, from him, who is an independent creator that is doing just as well, where they're able to, like, be self-sufficient from crowdfunding?
I mean, it's not going to be pop. Well, he worked in the majors, though. So I was going to say Ethan Van Sciver, but
He does well on Indiegogo and stuff.
He does well on Indiegogo. You have a CB Zane, what is it, Big Dog?
Big Dog Inc. Right.
Yeah, they do fantastic on there. You got to give credit to Travis Gibb, who's kind of learned how to make Kickstarter work for him. He's almost pulling for a single issue. He's pulling $5,000. That's a sustainable thing. You got 200 backers. You get Chuck Pino is getting up there with the Belial stuff that they're doing. Those are creators that can kind of turn out 200 people to back the campaign, 300. It's not Polito's numbers, but it's how Polito started. And
right.
And those are the pioneers. And also you got to talk about Comics Tribe. Comics Tribe's always making tens of thousands of dollars with it.
Now, also, Joe Bruscia, just real quick, from Zenoscope, now they have similar characters like the Chaos Comics characters had, right? But they don't, well, here's one that did like 58,000, so they're up there too pretty much, right? Joe Bruscia, I don't know how you say Bruscia. So Zenoscope does pretty well too, right?
Sorry, I had a Jack's moment. Yes, no, you're absolutely right. I just realized the time, though. We do have to move on because we're hitting the 1 hour mark.
Okay.
I didn't even realize that. Sorry about that, guys. But there were good questions, and there were ones worth asking. Luckily, we don't have a lot more to go, actually, today. We have, I think, 1, 2 more, and that's so 2 more. God bless. let's get to them. All right, so here's our first one. Yeah, lightning round. So this is the time to tap. So here we go. We're going to start with Rammer and check out Rammer. All right, sorry about that. I saw that Mark, you tapped, and I saw Frank, you tapped. So what do you guys got for me? Why the tap?
You want to go first?
So this is another one where the video got better. So I think that first portion, especially since nothing's said, the first part was a little more static, and then it started doing the motion cells and pieces coming in, and it was more expressive. So I feel like it needed to just start a little later. And then also once there had been this good animation and motion going on that sort of like gets it going, then needs some voiceover, some kind of telling, in a world, something, starting to talk about the story. Because I get some of it out of the visuals, but not enough.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I think that's true. I do like the motion comic aspect of it. I thought that's very cool. I like animating, comics a little bit, at least for the trailer. There's nothing better for a trailer than metal. So I think, metal works. Again, the sound effects. There could have been some cool sound effects, all that stuff in there with the, there were some lasers or him flying and just it would have livened it up a little bit. But yeah, I think voiceover too kind of would have helped. But I like the motion comics aspect. I thought that was very cool. Nice.
All right, Thomas, what did you think about before we move on to our next thing?
I like the motion comic part of it. I think the theme of the night kind of is like you need to say something. I think sometimes, like, even if it's a little bit, I think you need some type of small voiceover just to, I guess you bring it all together when you talk over your campaign at some point to let people know, like, this is what I'm doing, this is what it is, because then you leave it up to the imagination and you leave it up to the back of the kind of try to figure out based on the pieces that you put there what's happening, and sometimes they might get wrong, and you kind of want to be clear on that. So yeah, so I mean, I didn't think it was a bad video because I really liked the motion. That's what kept me interested in it, the motion comic part of it. But yeah, always I think just maybe even a little tiny bit of voiceover would go a long way.
And we don't have a video to show you for Knox County Comic #2, but it's now on Kickstarter. Definitely give it a look. And we're on to our last one for the evening, which is brand new to the show. I haven't even seen this video. This is Life on Korra. So together we're going to watch this for the first time. Here we go. I see you, Mark. We got one. All right, that's it. Thomas tapped as soon as he knew Mark tapped. He was like, I'm done. All right, Mark, why did you tap?
I mean, it's the music. just kind of makes me want to, if the music makes me want to go to sleep or maybe go shoot myself. I'm not sure. It's not positive. It's that, and then there's the reading is competing with the visuals. So the art is colorful and it is pretty, and I want to look at it, but then I got to look up to read the information I'm supposed to get. Again, we've already said it, like voiceover would be so much better there. I'm looking at your art. I could listen to you at the same time that I look, but I got to look away to read. And just the mood atmosphere, the music, it just set the wrong tone for me.
Yeah, I found myself trying to keep up with it. The words that were going across and the pictures and everything like that. I was trying to stay with it, but for me it was going by kind of fast. I wasn't able to take in the story and what he had going across the screen at the same time. That's why I got out.
Yeah, I met this creator a couple times actually earlier this week I was talking with him. Mike, this guy from the Netherlands. Yeah, cool guy. I think the book, is very cool. I think the music could have been a little more exciting. It didn't. I think the story is more exciting, and I think he could have had something a little more energetic. But I think something like this, because it's like a fantasy tale, could definitely use a little voiceover. I think, like when the beginning of Dark Crystal. You ever see that? And then it's really cool because Crystal Method actually samples that. Did you ever hear that Crystal Method tune where they sample that bit? I actually forgot that was at the beginning of that. And I listen to Crystal Method all the time, and I always listen to that song. And when I saw Dark Crystal again years later, I'm like, oh my God, I know that more as a Crystal Method sample than a Dark Crystal movie. But I think some voiceover would help you tell the story, maybe.
Yeah, and that classical music sort of style that he was doing, I think that would go great with the visuals if it was just more energetic, like something that was lifting.
Right.
Got pretty visuals,
Mm-hmm.
and so my energy would be more engaged rather than.
See, to me, the perfect thing to match that music would have been a voiceover. All right, guys. Let's go around the room and tell everyone about your projects on the way out. Thank you all for tuning in and watching, but just stick with us and hear about these amazing projects one last time. First up, we'll go with the reverse order, how you guys came in. So, Frank, you're up first.
Hey guys, so yeah, live on Kickstarter now until June 19th, 2021 is Warlash, Cold Metal Mayhem, and Bioburden. This is a hard-hitting, futuristic sci-fi epic of a armored warrior of justice. So if you like heavy metal, epic illustrated, underground comics, RoboCop, Judge Dredd, you're going to like Warlash, Cold Metal Mayhem. It's not for the weak or the weary.
Right there. That's it. That's the voiceover. I will download this as an audio file and send it to you exactly how you just said that as a voiceover in the video. I'm telling you, you got a winner. Up next, we have Guano Guy.
Yeah, it's that poster. But yeah, the Guano Guy, it's on Kickstarter. It is funded, but I'd really like to get more in because there's several bonus prints. Those are those freebie extras that you get. So along with like the 40-page book that's got really fun cover by David Lapham, we've got this poster that you can get as well. That's an add-on. And you can get an extra copy of the book for super inexpensive. Please check it out. Watch the videos. There's lots of fun stuff. And you can download issue number 1 for free. Again, it's on the Kickstarter. So you can read the first issue, see if you like it. I don't think there's any better selling point than that. Like, you either like it or not, and you'll know.
All right. And finally, up today, we have Thomas, why am I not seeing your overlay? This is what happens when you move around too much. There we go.
Yeah, Techlium Chapter 1 is live until July the 4th. It's a sci-fi space adventure. It follows a group of guys. I mean, it has the space fights, it has cyborgs, and at its core, it has heart. And I think that just stems from me. It's a passion project. It's something that I really believe in. I took the Brian Polito method, and I paid for it out of pocket because it's something I want to complete. It gives me joy, and everyone is invited to this Technium party.
It helps when you unmute. There we go. You guys have been great. Thank you for playing along tonight and showing everyone when backer pause is experienced. We had a metal night, guys. We got dark tonight. Welcome to the summer. Make sure you go out to the Comic Cons and support these creators as well on Kickstarter and Indiegogo. Remember, it takes a lot of guts to actually crowdfund something, so always show love to those who are crowdfunding, even with $1. And on our way out, I'm going to show you the power of $1. We'll see you next Wednesday.
See you guys.
The power of a single dollar. One single dollar can help make dreams come true. Every dollar is a declaration of support and belief. It helps the creators and the teams behind the book. Just $1 helps create new worlds and keeps creators